We are live on Seattle Minute Movies Network.
Hello, hello. Welcome to anyone and everyone who's out there.
Yeah, no idea. So
Yeah.
this month is
This month.
This month we're gonna watch a few films by some of our friends who make films in the Seattle Minute Movies group, and even if you're not living in Seattle, there's still plenty of opportunity to make films. Yeah.
Spoke. Yeah, we have 5 great films today. And filmmakers, if you are here, you're welcome to come join us backstage as soon as you're ready. And for anyone who's just tuning in for the first time, Minute Movies, every month filmmakers make a movie inspired by a word that's about a minute long. And so this month the word is spoke. And so we have 5 great minute movies that have all been inspired by that word, whatever interpretation the filmmaker had for it. And, inspired is the key word here, because sometimes these films, you watch them and you're like, how does that relate to the word at all? But, it's something about that word sparked the film.
Spoke to the filmmaker. Yeah.
Spoke to the filmmaker. Yes.
Inspired through,
Spoke. So Ryan is up first. Who made a film last month. He wasn't able to join us real time, but he said he was going to watch the live stream. So I hope you watch the live stream. And if you are here, you're welcome to hop in, but I think we should get started here. So Ryan.
So hey,
there, yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Sarah.
Uh-oh.
Just like a before the films request for doing Frankenfilms again.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
I was thinking that's a good yet another way to participate in minute movies. And
yeah, it is good. So Frankenfilm, which some of you who are here have participated, and I know you like that. Frankenfilm there will be a sign-up sheet that goes out. It's posted in the meetup page and also on the website. And if you want to participate in a Frankenfilm, then you just put in your name, an email address, and in a week, I guess I'll email you out a little snippet of a script. And that's all you get. You just get one little snippet. So it'll usually about just a couple sentences long. And you
so what is a Frankenfilm?
Film that. So you film your snippet of script, and everyone else who signed up has a different snippet of the same script. And then you have 2 weeks to film it, and you send them to me, and then I'll put them all together into one film. And that's a Frankenfilm. So everyone is filming the same script, but no one knows what the script is until they watch the final film at our monthly screening here.
So you'll make a suggestion like wear a green shirt. And
yeah. So usually the characters will be identified based on what color they're wearing usually. So I'll just pick like green or blue or black, something that most people should have in their closet. And you just wear the color of shirt, and that's how the audience can tell who is who. And also, if it matters, I'll say like what side of the screen you should be on. So if it's 2 people having a conversation, then that's, we can tell who's talking based on what side of the screen you're on.
So is there a mailing list for Frankenfilm mailing list if like people just want to sign up for that?
Yeah, there's on our website, there's a sign-up sheet, which I think should still be there. I'll double check after this, but
Okay.
it should be here. Oh yeah. It
Okay.
is. It's the same form as it always is. So you
So
can here. Why don't I share my screen and show everyone what the Frankenfilm
Minutemovies.com.
Minutemovies.com.
Yeah.
Where's my, here we go. Share screen. Here we go. Here is minutemovies.com. So for all of the filmmakers, everyone knows this, to submit, here's our submit button. And then if you want to make a Frankenfilm, come up to participate here, and then Frankenfilm, and the Frankenfilm sign up. So if you just click on Frankenfilm and you kind of want to know a little bit more, then here's kind of what it's about and the steps. So there are some submission specs that I ask just to make sure that everything kind of flows together well. So it's best if everyone has the same frame rate, 23.98, 1080p, H.264, which is the MP4 type. And don't add any music, because I'll add one soundtrack to the whole thing. And that's it. So we've just got the sign up button here to participate. Click there, fill in just your name, your email, and sign up. And then when you're ready to submit, you come back to this page and you submit clip. And then this will take you to the submission page. If you worked with anyone and you want to have their name appear in the credits, then you can put their names here, and then upload film. Click that button and it'll open up Dropbox. I will have a Dropbox folder here, so when you click it, it doesn't give you that message. And that's it. And then hit submit. So make sure you upload your film, and then once that's uploaded, you come back and hit submit here. And it'll be awesome. So yeah. And also, it's March, which means this is our anniversary screening. We've been doing Minute Movies for 9 years. Can you believe it?
Wow.
9 years of Minute
9
Movies.
years.
So
and we're
thanks
still
for
here.
putting me on the spot, but I do think having Frankenfilm come back for our 10th year is a great way to celebrate making movies together.
Yeah.
Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, so Jeff, always had fun with Frankenfilm. Has been fun. I had fun with them too.
It has been fun. Yeah. It is an easy way to participate without very minimal commitment, just
you can just do it on your phone, and it takes 5 minutes if that's all you want, if that's all you have time to give, but you still want to make a minute movie. Or you can, some people have been very elaborate and done animations or crazy characters, so you can get as creative and elaborate or as simple as you want from month to month.
Yes.
So it's a fun way to participate, and it's a fun way to make a movie with other people, even though we're not all in the same place making a movie together. So yeah, I encourage everyone to do it. The links for this will also be on the meetup page, if that's where you find us in the meetup group.
Okay. Well, should we get to the program?
So we've got 1 week to sign up, and that's when I'm sending out the scripts, so no late signups. Yeah, let's get to the program now.
Yeah.
Let's get on with it. All right.
Sure.
So we've got a couple filmmakers backstage, but I still don't see Ryan. So we could either.
So Ryan's film is up first.
Yeah.
And it's a nice even 1 minute film, 1 minute even. And yeah, see if it speaks to us.
So let's watch his film. Ryan, if you're here, you can hop on in and we'll talk to you whenever you're around. All right. Here we go.
It was a nice mood. Kind of
Yeah,
somewhat soothing, actually, wasn't it?
it was. It was
So
meditative, legit
yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a nice soundtrack. And so the credits always go by quick. I was thinking about pausing it, but I get the impression that he used most of that from Pixel. What was that
It was
website? You know,
Xxxx.com is what it said.
Pixels.com.
Pexels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
And then
guessing all that's found footage, or like footage that he got from that site.
yeah. And then also all the sound effects, which I guess I would have assumed some of those sound effects came with the footage, but it seems like he added his own sound effects too, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it was a good music choice to go with it too.
exactly.
Meditative.
Yeah. So it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
Spokes, the center of the hub of everything spinning around.
Yeah.
Cool deal.
Cool deal.
Good work, Ryan.
Good work.
So I think
Right.
Kirk's up
Kurt,
next.
you ready?
Ready, Kirk?
I'm gonna add you in here. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you two doing?
Doing good.
Good. Looks like you're
Yeah,
outside.
I am outside, yeah.
Nice. Is it that nice in Seattle now?
Oh, it's not too bad.
It's supposed to be rain. It's not raining, so that's
Yeah,
good.
not raining.
That's good.
Yeah. One comment on Ryan's film as well was I thought the aspect ratio choice of 4:3, Academy ratio was a good call for the look.
Yeah.
Having a closer to square ratio for
What makes you say that?
well because if you were to go 16:9 185:1 or wider than that, you wouldn't it would be because of the nature of the content where it's all rotating.
All right.
It wouldn't be framed as nicely.
Okay.
I
So
forget
you
which
say-
director it was who said that with the advent of widescreen, how am I supposed to do close-ups?
Yeah.
You know, he was lamenting the fact that going away from the Academy ratio meant that doing close-ups of people was all of a sudden much more difficult. It's much more challenging for that type of content to have it to highlight something that's
it's more symmetrical,
circular.
Circular.
Because the aspect ratio would be less close to square.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's cool that you noticed that.
More empty space over here and here.
Yeah, exactly, which would just be distracting. You would need to have some kind of framing in each case to highlight what you were actually trying to point out.
So that's cool that you noticed that there's that creative choice that we all have, and then even today, it's like you can go with vertical,
right,
and that's 16:9 vertical, on a phone, and so that's just a choice that we all have to add, you know, such as like ambient noises or color, and you can aspect ratio too. Sometimes you can even change the aspect ratio in a film, and that's
yeah. I'll what's his name? What is his name? Grand Budapest Hotel.
Wes Anderson.
Right.
Wes Anderson. Yeah, Wes Anderson likes to do that.
Do you like to do that?
Yeah. So regarding my short, so as you may recall, my last short was just shy of 9 minutes long. And you had challenged me to go shorter. And so I decided to intentionally make the shortest short film I've ever done.
Nice.
Excellent.
And
was
so
that
it is
challenging
by a few
for
seconds. Not particularly.
Okay.
It's a different kind of story.
Yeah.
So it's called The Outsider. And it was heavily influenced by the short story of the same name by H.P. Lovecraft. And yeah, just different kind of more abstract storytelling.
Okay. So do you think that the decision to make it shorter than you have been, did that really impact your creativity or cause that?
Well, really, it's just it's a different kind of story to tell.
Yeah.
So for example, with the last story, I wanted to tell the story of a couple of guys that where their relationship deteriorates in a realistic way over time, and there's no short way of telling that story. In this story, I'm just trying to evoke an emotion.
Okay. Should we watch it?
And it's a relatively simple emotion to evoke. And so it didn't require the time that the other story did.
Okay. Interesting. Should we watch it?
Sure.
Okay.
Here we go.
So considerably shorter.
Got the whole family in that one.
Yeah.
The whole Silva family.
Yeah, they're a pretty cute family for sure. Yeah, those looks. It was pretty effective. I love the flaring nostrils of the first little girl.
Yeah. The other little girl, the second youngest,
Yeah.
she just would start laughing every time the camera came to her.
Oh.
And I finally got a take where I was panning to her and she looked that way. And then to get the close up, everybody, including me, had to look away from her. Because if any of us looked at her, she would just start laughing. Yeah.
She was great. She looked like she was about to burst into tears to me.
Yeah. No, she did a great job.
She looked very angry with the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
The music choice, I don't have a great explanation for why I chose it. I was introduced to the track by the film Barry Lyndon, the 1975 film Barry Lyndon by Stanley Kubrick. And I had recently watched that film, and something about that track just seemed appropriate to me for the tone that I was going for.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So to be clear, for Jeff is asking, did the music or the film come first?
The film came first, but and by that I mean the concept for the film came first.
Oh, okay. So did you
music
shoot it?
did come second. I shot it knowing what music I would use.
Okay.
Again, it was influenced by the short story The Outsider by H.P. Lovecraft, which is fundamentally about a being, that it's first person narrative, and the character that you're seeing the story through escapes from a particular location and then goes to a populated area, and the people that witness the character that you're seeing the story through respond to the character as if it's a monster, basically. And so that was really kind of the where the idea had come from, this notion of being the outsider. And I had a couple of images kind of go through my mind. One was this notion of spokes on a wheel rotating around a family, as if they were spokes on a wheel, and having them look disapprovingly on you. And then the second image was that last image that you see of Monica, the wife, leaning over to Philip, the husband, and whispering something about you, but being unable to hear what's being said.
Yeah.
Which also goes along with the theme of spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was effective.
Cool. I had my niece watch it, and asked her what she thought of it. And she said, "Was your intention to make me feel uncomfortable?" And I said, well, yeah, that's kind of how it's meant to be. It's to make you feel uncomfortable. And she said, then it worked.
Exactly the way to, yeah. Well, that's great. That's what you know, invoke intention or, you know, emotion. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's a good testimony. Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Well,
It, you know, definitely
thank
a
you.
different type of storytelling than your longer pieces for sure.
Yeah.
But
Actually, not dissimilar to, you know, the very first short that I ever did, which you may recall was the man in a illuminated suit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Negotiating his way through, you know, an obstacle course, basically.
oh yeah.
Just meant to tell a much more abstract type story.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, thanks, thanks, Kirk.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
Yeah, always love your work.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much.
See you next time.
See you later.
All right.
Cool.
So Warner, you're up
Warner's
next, and then Jeff, and then Peter. All right, Warner, I'm bringing you in.
All right, how's it going, everybody?
Hey,
Hello, hello.
real good.
Let's get it done. I like a little bit of that context earlier on the Franken operation there. Get those going.
Yeah,
Franken film. Yeah,
that'll be fun. You're gonna join in on that?
I'm working on it. Yeah, it's kind of that extra push.
It is just a little bit extra. Yeah. You got to make the commitment, though, right? So.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we can pretty much roll that footage. This is basically taking advantage of some ambient sound and some pretty cool surroundings, and kind of a little bit impromptu, but it came together, I think, for what's actually bigger implications as far as what we all do. So we can roll it.
Okay.
All righty. Here we go.
Chat about it in a minute.
Oh, the safe's over there, huh?
Yes.
This is probably one of the other organs they used here. You probably couldn't hear other people speak though when it was playing, like if you're in the same room. All right.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, so that's actually the campus of the Eastman, the George Eastman Kodak empire. So that was really ground zero of film as we know it today. So
Okay.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, Peter Ray asked, is that the Eastman house?
Exactly. So incidentally, I was in Rochester for kind of a personal event, but this kind of worked out nicely, and I could not take advantage of the optics, of this mansion, and of course, some of the products that were on display. So
Yeah.
I could have done more. I mean, I could have taken more clips, but I wanted to just give you kind of the feel for what it was, and then take it away, so you kind of think, oh, that must have been something relating to perhaps the business. So
Business. Yeah, a lot of cool cameras. Those are.
yeah, and Panavision has also been around for 7,500 years, and they're still in Hollywood. I've been on their lot. Yeah. So they're connected to all of the film companies in terms of the traditional film that's still processed. So even though Kodak was restructured in their bankruptcy, they still have a role for the 35 millimeter and other vintage.
They're still the main innovator of, a lot of what we see on the big screen. Yeah, through Panavision. Technology.
Exactly. And I could not put in some of those very awkward filters. So my friend at the very beginning was a very disturbing. I have to
where it all began.
Filters.
I was like, all right, where are we going with this? This looks fun.
Yeah. I had to give it that disturbing intro with it filtered. So
the innocence of
Yeah, but I kind of wanted to just go easy on the dialogue too. So I kind of, the camera was shaky at the beginning, which I thought I'd leave that alone to give you kind of a feel of found footage in a sense. Like here we are in this eclectic property, and then just a shot of us
with these
walking.
Little kids.
Yeah, I wanted you to get a feel. Like, did you get a sense of that? Like we were just kind of in this somewhat museum space, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I wanted to ease up, and then I thought I would drop the soundtrack at the end for some of the sequence part.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Polaroid.
Yeah. Kodak made Polaroid film too.
That's right. Yeah, but it's beautiful. If you guys are ever kind of in upstate New York, I'd recommend everyone check out this facility. We had a really nice afternoon.
Yeah, it seems cool.
There's a whole display of war photography, and of course many of the historic elements that we all know of, from JFK to 9/11 and such. But it was kind of takes your breath away when you're looking in some of the Omaha Beach and some of the other. So again, I could have included more of that, but I wanted just to have a feel of where we were, and then end it with us kind of taking off. But
cool. Nice little slice of technology in Hollywood and the history and all that. Yeah.
A little bit. So.
Yeah.
And animated Disney characters.
Yeah, we got to throw in the animated distorted faces. That's what a 40-year-old plus person does with his minute movies. So. But to your point, Stuart, it was kind of intended to create kind of a cross section of an afternoon, and the juxtaposed against the implications of what this place was. So
cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
I should have. I'm just reminded of. I should take a leaf out of your book in terms of how you do, your found footage things, because I was at a kind of strange, eclectic museum type place that was very weird, but it has the largest carousel in the world, which I'm just remembering now, like there's spokes coming out from the middle of this carousel, and I don't normally shoot little found footage clips of while I'm at places, but I should have been inspired by your filmmaking style and shot in some clips there, because it was would have made it fun.
Something to think about. Yeah, because that was kind of the documentary approach I employed, because of course I didn't use a decent amount of the footage, but I knew that something had to be tapped from this afternoon. So I kind of just went at it guerrilla style. My friend's like, "What the heck are you doing, dude?" And he wasn't surprised, but to your point, Sarah, it was kind of intended to be, let's see if we can make this footage work somehow. And I knew that between that and some of the clips of the archaic sort of classic analog cameras that we could put together something for Spoke. So I sort of mumbo jumbled some terms together.
Yeah.
And to hit the theme this month. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll see you next month. Alrighty.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah.
And yep, I did see you pop in. Oh, and Ryan's here too. So maybe
Ryan's here.
we'll
Let's chat with Ryan in a minute.
chat with Ryan before we watch them all again so we can hear a little bit from him. All right, Jeff, I'm adding you in.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It was a lovely weekend, and you know, all that good stuff about the weather, and had a nice weekend. And as usual, this idea came to me not long ago, but that's good because why don't you go ahead and play it? So.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Just play it.
Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows.
So I got rid of all the extra stuff because it used to be a really cluttered piece. So I just wanted to strip down.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Another political commentary.
Yeah, observation. And when I was done, I realized that I'm going to have Vincent Price in mind when I animate Old Scratch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So from now on, I'm going to steal shamelessly from Vincent Price as best I can. The voice, the phrasing, and when he raised his eyebrows and all that cool stuff that he did.
Oh yeah, I love Vincent Price. Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah, and so it's also really the most time sensitive piece I think I've submitted, because I mean 3 days, if one believes the news, and Trump's trying to stir up a riot, he's going to get busted on Tuesday. So
really,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, or indicted. I don't know if they'll fingerprint him or not, but they ought to. But
yeah, well, he's trying to stir up a riot because on the theory that he'll be arrested on Tuesday.
Yeah. So
I don't think any authorities have given any indication that he'll be arrested on Tuesday. But
no, I think if I understand the little bit of law, he'll actually the indictments will be presented to the court, and so I don't think they'll fingerprint him and take mug shots. Probably
not.
Probably not.
But there might be riots no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what's he got? What's he stirring up this time?
He's trying to get supporters to go protesting, as I briefly read just the first couple of sentences of the article on whatever, to go sort of protest outside the court, in theory on Tuesday, because speculation is that's when the district attorney in Manhattan will present the paperwork for the line about the Stormy Daniels money trail, essentially.
Oh.
So it's really nickel and dime stuff in the grand scheme of business, but
Yeah.
Some other guy in New York with the same amount of money who nobody ever hears about will just pay the fine and go on about his business. But I could be wrong too. So anyway.
Whatever gets him in the news, I guess, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
Who knows what's going to happen this week?
Yeah, so try a couple new things in After Effects with the timing the little clicker at the top of the wheel. So
Cool.
yeah.
So did you make that before you heard about the news, or?
I got this idea a couple weeks ago before all the hoopla about this upcoming week was announced. But I mean, there's ongoing investigations and the bit that
Yeah.
some of
I
the.
mean, I guess that's the point of the spinning wheel. Where it
Yeah,
stops,
yeah,
nobody
where it
knows.
Yeah, which one's going to land first? Kind of.
Yeah. Which one's going to be the stickiest?
Yep, and that's why I cut away.
Yeah, 'cause we don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? But we don't. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Kirk says, I like that double character. I know you've used him before. Was he another character your brother did?
Yes. And unfortunately, that's the only drawing I have of it. So I'm looking to someone knows a good digital artist. Have them shoot me an email. I'm looking to actually pay someone who can actually draw, sort of take the character and do a full on, look at the camera view, 3/4, sort of his body, what his hands look like, all the stuff that I can't fake with only one drawing.
Like a character animator, a character designer?
Yeah, or essentially, someone who I could shoot the scan of the drawing and say, this is the format you have to fit, and send them the template file from Character Animator on Adobe with all the bits and pieces and what you call them.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, somebody knows somebody. I'm getting in touch through the meetup page.
Yeah.
And on that, I will say good night and thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you.
All
There's
right,
also,
thank you.
yeah. Oh, just Fiverr is, and then there's a couple of others that are.
Yeah.
Actually.
So I've been sort of looking on and off there, but I still haven't quite found the person who has samples of doing what I want. There, a lot of the really current Illustrator cartoon characters, they're just simple geometric designs and colors, and this is pencil drawn.
More pencil drawn.
Yeah, so it's going to be someone who can take that work and make it keep that feel.
Yeah. Upwork is another one of those websites.
Okay. Upwork. Yeah, I'll check them out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Alrighty. So, Peter, I'm going to add you in, and then Ryan will come back to you and talk to you about your film. All right, Peter, here you go. Hello.
Howdy. Dogs are barking.
Howdy, your dog too.
How's it going?
Wendy's outside and they bark when anybody comes up to the door. So
doesn't matter how well they know them.
Who it is, what it is, when it is. There could be nothing there and they can bark, but there's something.
There's something. They know there's something.
Yeah, there's something out there. I just wanted to say it was interesting. It kind of freaked me out when the Jimmy piece came up, and I was the Eastman House was the first place I ever worked.
Oh wow!
I lived in Rochester for on and off for about 10 years, and I actually worked as a groundskeeper there. And they had the Dryden Theater, which is attached in the back, and they had film people, film historians there, and they had these amazing film series. And the first when I first started there, they were running a European film series, and it was Bergman and Antonioni and De Sica and all the greats, Fellini, and it just they were running films 5 nights a week, and I got to go to all of them for free.
Oh wow!
And it kind of blew my head up. Just ultimate immersion in cinema. Then I'd go out and cut their lawn.
And you were a groundskeeper.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So that was quite a, place in your life to turning point. It sounds like to influence.
Yeah, and
your creativity.
the standard or the house photo exhibit was just masses of classical photographs all over the map, and then they'd have a rotating show, and I think one of the things I remember doing while I was there is they were loaning the Daguerre camera, number 3, the third Daguerre type camera ever made. They were loaning it to somebody, and I had to take it to the airport, and it was worth like $250,000 or something like that. And
Wow.
I had it in the back of my Rabbit. And
Oh my gosh.
Cruising along. But yeah, it was an amazing place. And also when I was there, they had this ancient nitrate film vault that like ancient, and this was in the 70s, and ancient air conditioning, and it was sort of built in, it looked like a classical mausoleum or something like that with multiple doors. It was part compartmented. And one of the days in the summer over the weekend, the one of the units failed and it caught on fire, and they lost all kinds of one of a kind ancient films.
Oh shoot.
And then they got a bunch of money to rebuild it. But yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on there.
Wow. Quite the historic place.
Yeah.
So Warner says, wow.
Yeah, they actually hauled. I think it was Eastman's birthplace. They moved it from somewhere else. I don't remember where it was, but they put that in the back. There was 10 acres there. There was all kinds of crazy history. He had cows on the property. He was like this health wacko. He had the telephone sterilized every day. He had greenhouses out back, and they raised flowers, and they had fresh flowers in the house every day from the greenhouses, and the milk from the cows. Just kind of crazy in downtown Rochester back then.
Huh.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Jeff says sounds like a great gig.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And then my boss was great.
And it's the kind of thing that you probably just stumbled into, right?
Well, I had actually, during college, I had worked summers at Kodak. They had the summer program for college kids.
Okay.
And you'd go over there and you'd be a slave unit. And I was repairing pocket Instamatic cameras, which were like a couple steps up from disposable.
Yeah.
But they would, people would send stuff in, and it was just all kinds of, you get these weird complaints, and you'd have to spend just a certain amount of time fixing them. And I don't know. I could go on about that. I have a ton of stories about that. But,
Huh. Wow.
but the film this time, I actually wrote the script, whatever, like a couple days after the screening the last time.
Hmm.
And then I've been working with this guy who's an inventor, lives up in Bremerton on a sailboat, and he's been working on this. It's a wind project, and he's got this model gyrocopter that we've been trying to fly for about 1.5 years. And he's got this amazing app on his phone that will tell him wind speeds anywhere, like a couple days out. And he'll call me up and like a day before and go, "We got to go out to the ocean shores, and because the wind's going to be just right." And so and this was going on. I mean, we were going all over the place right after I wrote that, because I thought, well, I got it written. I'm going to get this done now. And then all of a sudden I'm running all over the place, filming him almost crash the gyrocopter and stuff. And then finally, a week ago, he finally said, "Okay, we're going to do it this time," and went out to ocean shores. And the wind was almost not enough, but it went up and it flew for about 5 minutes. So he was all jacked. But that completely screwed up my attempt at filming it. And then I don't know how much I want to go into this, but I don't know. Last Thursday, I had a health event, and I didn't know if I was going to, I had an atrial fibrillation and went up in the ER, and I'm feeling much better, actually.
Oh, that's good.
But I sort of was almost giving up on doing this. And then yesterday morning, I said, screw it, and went into Seattle to Pike Place. And, well, you'll see. And
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, and I put this together this morning. So
Wow.
from that footage. So roll it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
What would you do if the fish spoke? Yeah, excuse me. If from its eyes wide open sleep, it woke and said, "You know, I do not hold with either of those who prefer fire or ice. I would prefer continued life beneath the waves." And you know, all those saves that you voice for salmon, that would be me. Or at least it was. But don't let me spoil your dinner by speaking out of turn. Ah!
So if the fish spoke, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The fish spoke.
It's like Charlie Tuna.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if I was hearing it differently, but that it should have been save. I heard it as save, but it's all those saves, SAVE, like save the salmon.
Yeah.
it sounded
Mm.
wrong on here. But anyway.
Huh. I think I heard saves.
Good.
Saves.
Good.
And V and B in Spanish, it's basically the same sound. It's hard to distinguish. Yeah. When someone says V or B.
I was trying to enunciate really carefully this time too. So, and the script or poem or whatever was actually I had to lengthen it out because when I recorded it, I actually recorded it the first time straight through, which is a first for me. But I actually had to cut it up and move it apart to make it stretch to a minute.
Mm.
And that the last picture I took last fall, and it was the salmon are starting to come back on some of the island streams and rivers. Or
Oh, wow.
I guess there's streams out here or creeks. And there's a Shingle Mill Creek, which actually had a cedar shake mill on it back in the day when they clear cut the island. But that kind of goes down behind my property out to the west side, the West Passage. And there was all kinds of buzz on Facebook last fall about the salmon were spawning there. And
wow.
I mean, I've been out here for 40 years now and I'd never seen it. So I went down and it was amazing. I mean, they were just, shooting over the shallows and sort of jumping and bashing into each other. And it was, I mean, it looked, you could tell it was really important. I mean, it was sort of the struggle for survival, I guess. I mean, it wasn't like they were going up a big river and jumping the rocks and everything, but there were a lot of obstacles in this stream. And it was right after we had that first really big rain. And I guess they knew that the water levels in the creek, I wound up, there was a woman down there who was a salmon specialist who had just come down to watch. I wound up talking to her for a while. And I guess they knew that the water levels in the creek were low. And they knew for some reason that after the rain, there was more water in the creek. And all of a sudden they'd actually been waiting out in the West Passage there to come in.
Oh, wow.
And that, one of the weirdest things was I went back a week later. I just brought my camera down, my still camera down when I shot that picture, and it was late in the day, and that's why it was kind of blurry because I'd cranked the ISO way up and it was still not enough because they were just jumping around like crazy. But I went back down there to film it, and they were all dead. And they'd already done their thing, and it was really sad. And they're just where there'd been all this life before. There were just all these sprawled out bodies everywhere, and it was really, it's kind of like after a war or something.
Like circle of life. So.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Well, according to Kirk, it reminds me of Something in the Way by Nirvana. Quote, it's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. So.
Well, there was a weird thing too. There was a guy there in waders, and he had brought a fly rod, and he was wading up and down the creek trying to hook one of the fish, which was just bizarre because well,
it seems like you wouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But they're not going to eat any. They're not going to go for a fly anyway. That's not.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
they're not eating at that point. They're
No.
just
They're not eat.
And
procreating.
they don't taste very good at that point.
Yeah.
At least the humans.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all meat, like,
They're-
yeah, they're all bruised up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
it's
was-
brutal. I've in Carkeek Park, there's salmon go up the creek there too.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing to like just be in the middle of the city and have salmon, running in the creek. And I went not last fall, but the fall before, and there were so many fish, like, jumping up the little waterfall, not really waterfall, but like the little rapid areas, and they get battered as they come up the rocks, and they I wouldn't want to eat one of one of those fish, but it's like it is amazing to watch them like struggle their way up the current, and to see like a female fish swimming and then like multiple male fish trying to like fight their way in to fertilize her eggs, and because she'll dig a hole, and then when she's ready to lay, she'll like give some fin signals to be like, I'm gonna lay some eggs now. And so like the male fish are trying to establish dominance of who gets to be there when she lays, and it's pretty, it's amazing to watch. So
Yeah.
Carkeek Park, if anyone in Seattle wants to go watch the salmon in the fall, it's an easy place to get to.
That specialist was telling me that she had been working down in Oregon, and that they had apparently they when they're looking to make their egg nest or whatever it is, they have to they go for a certain diameter of rock, and apparently in they were trying to get this one. They're trying to get this one stream back, and they trucked in all these rocks to provide beds for them. And the fish came in and they didn't lay any eggs because it didn't smell like where they had come from. Which, like they returned to where they hatched.
Right.
Yeah.
All these rocks were like from somewhere else, and when they went to lay the eggs, they thought it was the wrong place or something, and they didn't lay.
Wow.
So.
Fascinating life cycle of the salmon.
Yeah.
And they bring all the nutrients from the ocean up into the woods,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all those salmon.
Hey. Right.
All those salmon bodies on the side of the stream are, serving a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the difference between that 1 week span of like all that life and then all that death was just, I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but it was just kind of depressing. It was sad.
Sad.
Yeah. That's my fish story.
It's your fish story.
This is only 4.3. It's not 16.9.
Yeah, I know. Smaller fish.
Maybe it is 16.9. I guess it is.
It is. Well,
Well,
thanks for sharing your fish story with us.
yeah.
I have one more.
The fish
Oh,
scoop.
I wanted to do it at the Island Thriftway because they have a small fish department there, and I asked the guy who was in the fish department if I could film there. He said, I can't approve that. You're gonna have to talk to the management. And so I went and talked to the customer service guy, and he said, well, email them. They always answer back. And so they had one of those form email things, tell us your problem or whatever.
Yeah.
And they never answered me.
Oh.
So that was another contributing factor to almost giving up, because I just said it would have been a lot easier. But
Yeah.
instead, I went into Pike Place and everybody was filming the fish at the market there. So I said, I'm not even going to ask them.
Yeah.
Well, you got some great fish shots.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was with my little, where is it? This? Yeah. It's just this little point and shoot thing.
Oh. Canon.
Which, I don't know. I'm continually amazed at modern gadgets.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's
Don't need anything fancy.
Yeah.
Well, everything is fancy nowadays, I guess.
Great.
It's true. Well, thanks, Peter.
Sure.
Glad you're
Thanks,
feeling
Peter.
healthy.
Me too.
Stay healthy.
I will.
See you next
Yeah.
time.
Thanks.
See you next time. Cool. Wow.
Cool.
A lot of good stories, a lot of good films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, if you want to turn your video on, we watched your film first since you were the first one to submit. But we can hear from you and talk to you a little bit before we watch all the films again. So I'm going to bring you online right now. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Good to see
Hey
you.
there. Me too.
Glad you could join us this month.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm usually a stream watcher. I don't really typically have free Sundays, so I'm never able to actually join in here.
A different kind of stream than the one we were just talking about.
Yeah.
With fish in it. Yeah. It's like
Yeah. Well, as we've already seen your film, I don't know if you were able to catch that part, but do you have anything you want to add or talk about?
I mean, no, it was pretty much just like an editorial exercise, which I do a lot, just kind of playing around with free footage from different places and starting off with a single image in my head and then kind of building off of that. Some of it's just kind of from puddle jumping around stock sites and looking at what they have to offer, and some of it is trying to think of what would be the next shot and then hunting for it or creating it in some cases. Like I think in this one I did the quarter is all in a 3D program in Blender, and then I usually
really?
use After Effects. Yeah, I use After Effects all the time to zoom in on different spots of an image that aren't typically in full focus, just to like kind of highlight a specific portion of it and have it continuation, because I really like jump cuts. I think that's usually what I like. Jump cuts. I like continuation cuts. Just kind of how they build on each other, where you can connect two things that are seemingly disparate, but they can link together using pretty standard cutting techniques.
Cool.
Yeah,
it was effective. I was curious about the quarter. I'm fascinated that you were. I was like, where did that come from? How did he? It's like the quarter point of view and everything spinning around it, right?
Yeah, that was one of those where like I've had that idea in the past of like a view from a quarter as it spins, but yeah, it's kind of like, how are you ever going to find that on a stock site, or how would they ever shoot that in reality? So I just created it.
So how did you shoot that?
That's all using just free assets from the internet, and then Blender, which is a 3D tool that just created the scene, simulated the quarter spin, and then just set the camera up to follow it.
So how'd you get the sound?
What's that?
Did you record the sound separate?
Sound is, I typically pull all my sound effects from freesound.org. Sometimes I
Okay.
record myself. I have like one of those Zoom handhelds that I use for a lot of things, but for most of like the free, just ambient sound effects, just environmental stuff, I'll just pull it from Free Sound because
Because you matched up sounds with a lot of the video. Or it
yeah,
seemed like,
yeah, that's all Free Sound. I mean, it's not
but
like
did you did you
single
take
set
the
effect.
video, like see a video and then find a sound clip to match it, or
Yep.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I mean, it's usually whatever 4 to 5 clips of different versions of the sound effect, kind of all layered on top of each other to actually match it to a video file. Because 9 times out of 10, whatever you find isn't going to exactly match up what footage you
Yeah.
found. So it's kind of just trying to
Mhm.
combine it together. So just grabbing a lot of
Okay,
different sources.
Cool.
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's kind of an offspring of something like Foley sound, where you're trying to
Yeah.
match.
Exactly. I love Foley artists. I love watching like documentaries on
What-
Foley artists and how they do it.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, there's a couple on Instagram that I follow that like
Oh, really?
show them. They'll have a video of themselves watching the film and then making
Mhm.
the sound, in real time to, however many takes it takes to
Yeah. There was a big
the footsteps,
YouTube
when they're walking, and they'll put on these, they're in like
video where they have the shoes on
typically
their
like
feet.
a basement, and it's just like this really,
Mhm.
messy place, and they're just walking, and they put sand on the floor and kind of get a crunchy sound or something, and it's cool.
Mhm.
It's fun to watch.
Totally.
And then it's surprising that that's 90% of what we see in the theaters. How the
Yeah.
sound is created, it's not actual microphones on the set, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually just for reference, sadly.
yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's cool to see. So were there any like cool like tricks or suggestions you have for people to search and find clips that you're thinking
Hmm.
about or would be?
Yeah, and
I mean,
Jeff just asked if you could add your sound source URL too. On that note, for
oh
tips.
yeah, it's freesound.org is a massive collection library of just free sound effects. And I think
Cool.
I can't remember who created it. But it's a lot like Creative Commons, but just for free sound effects that people record. So the quality is hit or miss, but a lot of it is, yeah, thank you. A lot of it is really, really good, especially for being free. And as long as you source it, they they love it. I put my stuff whenever I record something. I tend to put it up on Free Sound anyways, because sooner or later somebody will use it in a different project, and it's just a quick way to have somebody else use it.
Yeah,
But then,
give
yeah,
back
for
to the
footage,
community.
yeah, Pexels is an incredible, incredible free stock site. And it has quality where it looks like cinematic quality stuff. They have found footage, people shooting in their backyard. It's all over the map. So you can find basically anything you can think of on Pexels.
Yeah, it looks.
Nice.
I just googled it. It looks kind of like Pixabay, which I use
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah, I think I
too.
actually pulled a couple things from Pixabay on this one. I can't remember what, but yeah, very similar.
Cool.
Right on.
Well, thanks, Ryan.
Welcome.
Glad we got to meet you.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll try and find time for these in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
And shall we watch them all again? Watch Ryan's
Yeah.
and roll into the rest.
Rewind back
Right.
to the front and
Hope to see you next time if you can.
Definitely. Thanks much.
thanks.
Alrighty,
Alrighty.
here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, the safe's over there, huh?
Yes. Put money in there. That's where it is.
This is probably one of the other organs they used here. You probably couldn't hear other people speak though when it was playing, like if you're in the same room.
Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows.
What would you do if the fish spoke? Yeah, excuse me. If from its eyes wide open sleep it woke and said, "You know, I do not hold with either of those who prefer fire or ice. I would prefer continued life beneath the waves." And you know, all those saves that you voice for salmon, that would be me. Or at least it was. But don't let me spoil your dinner by speaking out of turn. Ah!
Okay.
Okay. That was Spoke.
That was Spoke. The filmmakers have spoke.
Filmmakers have spoke.
Yeah.
Ready for next month?
I'm always ready for next month.
Excellent. What will next month bring us?
I don't know. take the where the minute movies for a spin with my free Ballard board. Go skate. You ready?
Ready. Shift.
Shift.
Ooh. Shift.
Yeah. Shifty.
Shift.
Good shifty. Shift some gears. Change it up. New Frankenfilm. Shift back into that gear.
Shift back into that gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frankenfilm. Don't forget to sign up
Don't forget to sign up for that.
for that.
And then Sarah will take the late shift and piece it all together just in time.
Just in the nick of time.
Yeah. But, they're shifty eyes.
Shifty. Wow.
Well.
Shift.
Shift.
Good.
You heard about this shift? It's like this the whole planet is shifting to a higher level of mindset and positivity. It's the shift.
Shifting your mindset.
The shift. Yeah.
The shifts.
That's it's in our epic times, but so many shifts. Tectonic plates are shifting and creating earthquakes.
The climate is shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Get
those
some
are
good
our
films out of this
ideas.
one.
Yeah.
Let you all noodle on that, and we'll see
Yeah.
what you bring next month.
See if anybody's got a stick shift. Oh.
Jeff's got an idea right away. Be very scared.
I'm already scared. All righty. Cool.
All righty.
Shift into high gear and let's make it happen.
6-speed VW diesel.
Hey, there you go.
Shift some gears there.
Don't grind them.
Don't grind them.
All right.
All right. See y'all next time.
All right. See you next time. That was fun.